Hi, my name is Jason Edwards and welcome to this SimplyMaya modelling tutorial. This particular tutorial is going to involve the modelling of a hand, and to do that we're going to start out with using a polycube, and just going to zoom in on that one. And what we're going to do first is we're going to create a couple of divisions. So we're going to do one on the height and one on the depth there. This particular part of the model is going to be the wrist. And first of all, what I'd like to do is just scale this out just a little bit more, and then what we're going to do is just give it a tiny bit of shape just by selecting some verts, and I'm just going to squeeze that in a bit. So this is sort of like the basic wrist area, and what we're going to do is extrude outwards a couple of times, and then what we're going to do is create the lower palm and the upper palm. And then we're going to move on to creating the index finger and a thumb, and then afterwards what we'll do is we'll duplicate the index finger for the other remaining fingers and scale those accordingly. So first of all, we're going to right click over our model, and we're just going to extrude forwards like so. Okay, so this is going to be sort of the start of the lower palm of our hand, and then for this part we're going to extrude outwards like so, and we're going to do the same on this side. Okay, like that. And then all we're going to do now is just going to start to shape up, and we're going to be shaping up as we go, because you don't want to be getting too far in and you've got too much geometry. So it's best to sort of get this sort of thing out of the way at the early stages, while your mesh is at a low resolution. So I'm just going to shape this up just a little bit more, like so, and we'll just bring that button back down a bit, I think. Actually, no, we'll move that up, that's fine, and we'll move this one down, and this guy down as well. Okay, so you should have something like that, and we'll just move these points back just a little bit, just so it all blends in nicely with the rest of the sort of wrist area. Okay, so you should have something that resembles that so far. And what we're going to do now is we're going to grab these 8 faces on the front, and we're going to extrude that out like so. And we're just going to pinch that in ever so slightly, so this enables it to taper off for the start of the fingers. And also we're going to start to round out a little bit more as well. Okay, so something like that. And what we'll do as well, we don't need these faces on the end there, so we'll get rid of those. Generally I like to build the hands straight from a full body model, keeping it as many quads as I can, but for this particular tutorial we're just going to build this hand as it is, and it can probably be stored for a later time to use as like a Frankenstein part for any model that you may want to build, and hopefully the techniques that I'm using will come in handy as well. I do actually use these in a production process, doing exactly this, so just using some methods that I've learned over the years as well. So what we're going to do first, I'm just going to shape this out just a little bit more, just around here, because we're going to get the thumb to extrude out of here a little bit later on. So I'm just going to shape that just a little bit. So again, keeping it all quads for now. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to extrude out the index finger, which is pretty simple. So we're just going to extrude that out. I've got shortcuts on my shelf up here, in case some of you are wondering. You can go to the polygons menu and go to your edit mesh, and you can go to the extrude there, and you can create a shortcut for your shelf as well if you want. So I'm just going to extrude this out once. And I'll just scale it in a little bit. And what I will do is I'm just going to edit the shape of this, because as you can see it's not quite sitting right at the moment, so we'll just move these things around a bit. Okay, and that one there. Okay, that's not too bad. I'll do a bit more shaping up later on. Okay, so again, just going to grab the faces on the end of there, and we're going to extrude again, and just center that up, push that forward, like so, and just going to scale that in a bit more there. So again, as you can see, because we've edited it there, we haven't got to really do a lot to it now on this part. And again, I'm going to do one more part, just for there. Okay, and then the last extrude, which is going to become the sort of nail area for us. Okay, so just going to push that back a little bit more. Okay, like so. And I'm going to grab those verts, and I'm just going to push those down. I'm going to move these guys forward just a little bit more. Okay, so this is going to act as the sort of knuckle area just before the nail begins, just down here. And I'm just going to shape it all up as well. So as I said, while it's at a low resolution stage, it's a good idea to shape. So you haven't got to do as much later on when you've got more geometry in the scene. Although you will come to it, you will have to tweak and tweak again. Let's just move these across. These are all looking a bit too wide on here. It's not looking too bad. So again, we'll just narrow these guys out just on the top here. Okay, so you should have something like that. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to move this forward just a little bit more, give us a little bit more room just to work with, so not too cramped up. Okay, so what we're going to do now, we've done that, this is just really blocked out. This is where you want to be in the early stages of any model. Just want to get the basic blocking out before you start to add any detail. Don't go mad and start adding lots and lots of geometry, because it's just going to get confusing later on for you. So just try and keep it sort of optimized at this sort of level for the early stages. Okay, so I'm just going to hide my grid. That's better, so I see what I'm doing a bit better underneath here. So for the thumb, we're going to grab these guys just here, these two faces. Okay, and just going to extrude those. And we're going to scale those in, like so. And what we're going to do is, I'm just going to use my move tool. I'm just going to move them down just a little bit like that. And what we're going to do, we're going to build the thumb actually at 90 degrees